Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Whoa.
Welcome to another episode of the Box Office Dynasty podcast. I am Jack.
And I'm Josh.
And this is our 10th episode, Josh.
It's a milestone.
We beat the allegations of
Whoa!
Wait, not those allegations. No, you're still struggling with those allegations.
I didn't do anything. I plead the
No,
fifth.
I looked it up. The statistics are like 70% of podcasters like bail before the 10th episode. So we made it to episode 10, which is pretty. It's a momentous occasion, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna bail now. No one tells us that, like they didn't say we had to make it to 11. So
that's true. There was no contest for that.
No, yeah, that's really cool. It's a milestone for us, especially when you consider again like how long we talked about actually doing this, and here we are, and we're doing it. I know. We're at 10 episodes.
We first mentioned it in college, like 3 years ago or something.
At least.
Probably more than that.
So I mean, it's cool that we've made it here, and I'm excited to see where we're going to take this podcast. We have a lot to look forward to. We have summer blockbusters. We have the Oscar race in the fall. We have anniversaries. Hopefully that will hit a milestone. And excited to see how our audience grows with that too. Like we're still only at the beginning, and I'm excited.
That's right, baby. That's right. We have a great episode, great 10th episode today. You're actually putting me on the stand, giving me a little bit of a interrogation to start the episode. Of course, you're going to go through the box office numbers for us. We're going to do some movie reviews. You saw the Phoenician Scheme recently, and I saw the new Karate Kid Legends, so we're just going to get to talk about those for a little bit. And then we have some Netflix trailers to review, a couple movies, a couple TV shows that's really exciting, and some movie news. And then we'll have a great conversation at the end, a really important conversation that we both agree is something that should be talked about. After our movie news, we're going to talk about AI in entertainment. And that's a tricky conversation, but I think it's necessary, and we're going to have a good chat about that. It's more of a chill episode today, nothing really to review besides those two quick movies. Before we get into you asking me questions, I want to ask you a question. And I just thought of this right now.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Josh, my beautiful co-host.
Yeah, lay it on.
If this podcast gets, let's just say the success keeps growing, right? It's a great thing. Success keeps growing. What is one thing that you would like look forward to the most? Like, what is your kind of goal for this podcast? Something you want to experience, or an event you want to go to, or someone you want to meet through this podcast, or a milestone for you?
That's a fantastic question, actually.
Thanks,
wow,
man.
Really putting me on the stand. Look, my original milestone, my original goal has been met. And I will say that. And I have more goals now. My original goal was that we do it, our friends enjoy it, we enjoy it. We're there. Our friends, they're listening right now. They've given us so much love and support with this, and we thank you. We love doing this, and that has been very satisfying for me on a personal level. Now, to answer your question, I would love the opportunity to see this podcast grow, just for all of it. Like, I don't even know about meeting any one person in particular, but just the opportunity to network, the opportunity to take something that we love, which is film and television, and actually, I don't want to say have an influence on it. That's not really what I mean, but just, be a part of it. Like, actually, like, have a foot in the door, learn more ourselves about the industry and about the people who are a part of it, be a bit of a part of it, just growing our base, and also to be able to entertain people, teach people things about this craft that we love and appreciate. I think it's a really cool outlet and platform that we've created, and it's small, but we're determined, and so I'm just excited about the opportunities that can come with our commitment to what we're doing here.
That is a beautiful answer. I love that. I could not agree more, man. I mean, we've reached the original goals, and now it's all about continuing that perseverance and just doing what we love and what other people love us doing. And yeah, just continuing that, hopefully growing and getting to experience new things in the field, in the industry, and passing that information to other people. 100%.
That's what we're here for. We are here to
Damn right.
to just talk about everything related to movies, from franchises down to the indie auteurs and everything in between, and television too, and learn a little bit ourselves and have fun. And yeah, it's been great, but it's only the beginning. And so yeah, I'm really excited in general, and I think we both are, about the potential for something like this when you really put your mind to it. I think you see a lot of success stories just in different, not even just film and television, right? But in general, people's success stories, different talents, right? Like if you're a singer, or, if you're just whatever, like it's never too late in your life to start over, do something and start something that is meaningful to you, that you want to do for yourself, and take it as far as you possibly can. And that's what we're doing here. And anyone can start a podcast, right? There's nothing special about you and I and what we're doing here necessarily, but it's just our friendship and the ability to present ourselves and be real with people on the internet and talk about something that is at the very core of our friendship, something that we both love and connect over very deeply. And so, yeah, I think that passion is what can make a podcast successful, because anyone can do a show. Anyone can do a fucking podcast, but it's about having the passion and the connection between the people involved and with the audience to be able to actually push it somewhere. And I think we have that. And I'm pumped. I'm happy.
Right there with you, man. 100%.
I think that takes us to put you on the stand now, and it's
That's
funny.
my turn.
It's funny. So I have 5 questions.
Okay.
I don't think they're all going to take long. We'll see. The first one probably won't, and it's actually a really funny segue from the question you asked me. What is your favorite podcast other than this one? What is your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast is actually one that kind of inspired me to do this a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. I love the Escape Pod podcast, and they just talk about things that we love to talk about. And I'm me more so than you, because they're very Marvel, Star Wars, comic book, movie based and TV show, but they also get into the Christopher Nolan movies and the Tarantino movies and all the other stuff that film lovers love. And they talk about the news. And they're really funny too, which I like, and really creative with this. And they're a good inspiration, because I see them, the Escape Pod podcast, get invited to red carpets and screenings and premieres. And that is what I would love to do. I would love to experience those types of things. And they have a huge following, of course, and they're very good at what they do. So obviously, of course, to get invited to these things. But that is my dream. They are living the dream right now, is what I think. But they just seem really cool, and they're really good at what they do, and they're entertaining. So definitely the Escape Pod podcast. If you're listening to this and you like those sorts of things, comics, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, superheroes, all those kind of things, go check them out. They're really cool.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, how cool would that be to be invited to
Dude.
And obviously for me, the ultimate dream and goal is to be at a premiere of a film I worked on in a capacity. But just imagine the excitement for us and this podcast if that ever happened, that we got invited, if we were big enough to get invited to a film premiere. That would be cool.
They were at the Thunderbolts premiere and the Mission Impossible premiere, and got to talk to Tom Cruise and David Harbour and all these things, and it's like, damn, dude,
I would just be floored. I would just be floored if I was talking to Tom Cruise.
Brother, we're getting there. We're getting there. No matter what it takes, we're getting there.
Now my fingers are crossed this week.
Let's go, baby.
Second question coming at you. What is one movie that you would want to see get a theatrical re-release? Like, we just went and saw Revenge of the Sith.
Whoa.
So what is an older movie of some sort that you like, that you would love to see in theaters, you've never seen, you want to see?
Oh, that's such a good question. I I don't know if they did this. I'm assuming they didn't, but I want to go Indiana Jones. Did Raiders of the Lost Ark ever get a re-release?
I'm sure it has at some point.
I'm sure it has, but I didn't see it. So if they, and also Last Crusade is my favorite Indiana Jones movie, but I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is just too iconic to not say that one. But I would definitely go see a Raiders re-release. I think that'd be amazing.
That's a great answer. I would love to as well. I've never seen an Indiana Jones. Well, other than the newest Indiana Jones movie,
Yeah.
I've never seen like the originals in theaters. But that's a great answer.
would
For
love
me,
to.
I mean, I don't know if this is my number one, but I'm very excited. I'm expecting a Jaws re-release this year because it's the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
So I'm gonna be there. I'm seeing that. Like that's gonna be such a insane experience. Okay. The third question is kind of a silly one. What day of the week does it feel like has the least holidays fall on it? Like if you had to pick one of the days of the week, I don't have an answer.
I was gonna say, do you have the real answer?
I don't know if there is because like it changes. Some holidays they're like the date. Like Christmas isn't one day.
Right.
all
Well, I
the
know what
time.
it's not. It's not Sunday and it's not Monday.
Yeah, but I was just curious, like what it feels like to you.
For me, it feels like I either want to say Tuesday or Wednesday. I think I'm gonna go Tuesday
That's what I
because
would
Tuesday
say.
is always the day after a holiday.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I would say. I feel like Tuesday is because everyone always says Monday's the worst day of the week, but low key Tuesday is because at least Monday's like the start, it's a fresh, it's a beginning. Tuesday's like you're not even at the halfway point. You're just you still have like 4 days ahead of you of the work week. It's a drag.
Well, Tuesday was the worst day of the week until the Box Office Dynasty podcast started coming out on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But like, in terms of non-podcast related reasons, Tuesdays are definitely
Fuck
kind
Tuesdays.
of that's why we're here on Tuesdays to help. But I was gonna say Tuesday. I
think that's the answer. It's gotta
I
be.
mean, again, and like holidays, like Christmas does fall on a Tuesday sometimes, like New Year's,
Right,
and
4th of
things.
July.
But I just feel like obviously that only happens every several years because 7 days in a week. So like, I don't know.
There's some that are like constant. Like
Thanksgiving is always Thursday.
Thanksgiving's always a Thursday.
Yeah.
But and there's always ones on Sunday, like Easter and whatever. Memorial Day and Labor Day is on Monday.
Yeah.
But you don't get a definite Tuesday or a
there's
definite
no
Wednesday.
definitive Tuesday holiday. There isn't.
Unless it's like I don't know all the other religious holidays, obviously.
Okay, that's just one in terms of however many holidays, though.
Right, like who knows?
So
I mean, people know,
I'm
but
sure
I don't
there
know.
is a Tuesday holiday out there. Just because there's a holiday, and I don't mean that for the religious ones, but like, even if there isn't a religious one, that's
Yeah,
what I
start
mean.
sacrilege right now.
No, I just mean like even if there isn't a religious holiday on a Tuesday, there's like a holiday on any day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sure
right,
there
you're right.
is.
That's a good question.
Okay, the fourth one is going to be probably the toughest for you, and it's well, all right. I went through what I thought are probably your 6 favorite franchises.
Oh, okay.
I think they are. I mean, obviously there might be something I'm missing, but these are probably about
You did your
6
research.
favorites. 3 stay, 3 go.
Shit. Okay.
Ready to hear them?
Yeah.
Marvel, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible, Planet of the Apes, and Jurassic Park.
Oh no, dude. Oh no. And when you say Marvel, we're talking MCU only?
Yeah, we'll just talk like
Stick
MCU.
to the movies.
We'll stick to movies and TV.
Oh my god. Okay, I can tell you right now. Oh my god. Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time, but I think it has to go.
That's why I put it in. I was like, this franchise, I know you don't love the whole franchise as much, but I was wondering if you'd bite on it
I think it's got like 2 good movies. I'm really excited for the next one, but I think it's got 2 good movies and the rest are either bad or mediocre. So Jurassic Park is out. I'm definitely keeping MCU. I'm keeping Marvel. I have to keep Star Wars. I can't get rid of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh no. So what do I have left? Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible, and Planet of the Apes.
So I'm keeping Marvel. I'm keeping Indiana. I mean,
So
I'm keeping
two of
Star
those three
Wars,
have to go.
and I think I'm keeping Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
I'm keeping Planet of the Apes. I think it's one of the, if not the most consistently good franchise
That's
around.
shocking.
I'm getting rid of Jurassic Park franchise. I'm getting rid of Mission Impossible, and I'm getting rid of Indiana Jones. Again, I love all those franchises. Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park are actually in my Letterboxd top 4.
Yeah.
But
and you're tossing them both.
But they both have to be tossed because they only have like 2 good movies in each franchise. Mission Impossible has like 4 great movies, but Star Wars I can't get rid of. It's too iconic, too in depth in my childhood. Marvel I can't get rid of for the same reason. And Kingdom of the Planet Apes doesn't have a single bad movie. It's got 2 amazing ones and 2 pretty good ones. Like I can't get rid of either of them.
Wow. Well, I respect it. I mean, I didn't. They're your 6 favorites, right? Would you say those are your 6 favorites? Did I get it, or like if you pick 6?
I didn't think you were gonna snipe Indiana Jones. I think you got it.
Like that because I thought about DC. I was like, if I did more, but I was like, you don't love DC like that. Like
I mean, if we're doing Marvel, if we're doing movies, then no, not DC.
movies and TV.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do love DC. They got great animation.
But I meant like over
that,
these 6, I was like, would I was trying to think like, would you put it over these 6?
No, that's probably these. You did good. You did good.
Okay.
What's your favorite of them on that list?
My favorite one? Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Star Wars. Because
Yeah,
here's the
like,
thing,
you
Star
can't
Wars
get rid of Star
Star
Wars.
Wars has like the lows of Star Wars are not good. All right, it's not.
They might be the lowest lows on that list.
It maybe. Honestly, probably actually. But,
Yeah.
But like Star Wars at its best is so
Unstoppable.
so like on another level, incredible. So I think that would be my favorite. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Okay.
Yeah.
My last question, I really like. I just thought it would be a nice way to end the segment. What is one of your favorite memories of us?
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Yeah.
I really like every time we stop recording a podcast and I never have to see you for another week.
Yeah, we don't talk at all. Actually, we
Don't
didn't
talk.
actually meet in college. We actually met in a chat room online, like
Yeah.
for podcast wannabes.
This is our first time meeting, actually.
Yeah, we went when we went to Maine was the first time we met in person.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a great question. We have so many.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna have to say this was a bad time for both of us, but I think because we had each other, so I'm gonna say during COVID, we were locked in our dorm for like the entirety of the semester. It was our junior year, and we had other roommates, but at the end of the day, it was really just us two hanging out.
Yeah.
And I think you made it tolerable for me, and you actually made it fun. Like I look back at the time, not like, oh, COVID was terrible. I go, wow, how fun was it that I got to hang out inside with my buddy all day and watch movies and drink and play games. Like it could have been the worst time ever, and it was one of the best. I think we made it the best when it should have been the worst.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I think that whole year was just like something special because I think that also like we bonded really strongly after that.
Yeah.
Because we kind of had to. Otherwise, we would hate each other.
We couldn't see anyone else. There was nothing we could do. We were just sitting around drinking, like playing games,
Yeah.
watching movies. But like, and honestly, I think that is a year where, like, because we did roommate movie nights sophomore year, and it was a lot of fun, but it was more of a
Yeah.
social event. Junior
Yeah.
year was the year where, you know, because it was COVID and we couldn't really do anything, that we really like discovered how much like we love other things. Like, yeah, we love talking about like Marvel and the weekly show, but we're like, oh my god, look at all these movies that we're watching, and they're different kinds
Yeah.
of movies, and they were
We
all
did a whole
like,
Back to the Future binge.
yeah, and we're like, we just fucking love movies, like 80s
Mm-hmm.
movies and 90s movies and action movies and this and that, like,
Yeah, man.
and so, you know, a lot of the reason why I think we have a podcast is also because of that year. That's a good answer.
I think you showed me my first Tarantino movie. You showed me Hateful Eight.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And that was the year when, and I think I'm just gonna out it right now because nothing's happening with it. We played this game that we made up, the Letterboxd game.
yeah, like what? Yeah, you can explain.
Made up is like, you know,
Yeah.
all we did was basically pick movie reviews And actually, that would not be a terrible segment for for the show. We'd pick movie reviews, and the other person just has to guess what movie it is. And there's a bunch of rules and stuff like this, but we'd find like the funniest or stupidest review or whatever, and then the other person has to guess what movie it is. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It really was a lot of fun.
yeah, it was a good time. That's a good answer. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of great memories. The one this was the question I was saying you'd probably want to know my answer to.
I would love to know yours.
I mean, I don't know about like favorite all time. That would take me too long to try and figure out. But I know one of them is actually our senior year. I'm not going to go into details.
Oh, great.
You'll see. But so we were having a party at our apartment. Jack and I, we used to like host gatherings all the time. People come over, we'd drink, we'd listen to music, play games. It'd be a really good time. And you had gotten some unfortunate news. And I remember you went off to your room, and I came after you, and I know other people were like, what's going on? And I was like, I basically was like, fuck off. And I locked in. And I locked in with you, and we were not sober, like definitely not. But
dude.
we were handling the situation, and it was like one of these, like, man, like even in this really social, like chaotic environment when we're not in, our full capacity mindsets, so to speak, like we are locked in on another level. I was like, that friendship, like, I got you, you got me, I got you, and so like I just think about that memory. I'm like, that is a moment of like, we got each other.
That was like a locked away memory for me.
Yeah,
like, because that was not a great night for me, but yeah, you were there for me, man.
Yeah,
you were there for me, and I love you, bro. Like that's our friendship, too, bro. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh, so
we're so wholesome.
We're both on the stand today. We're patting ourselves on the back and jerking each other's dicks, and it's how else did you expect episode 10 to go? It's a milestone.
Just a regular Tuesday, right?
Yeah. That's man, yeah, just another work week. All right. Well, on that note, why don't we talk some shop? Why don't we get into shoot the shit, get into the business,
man,
with some box office numbers.
Bring it on.
All right. So these are the box office numbers of the weekend of May 30th to June 1st. We're in June now, baby. This year is flying by.
It really is.
In fifth place in its first weekend of release from A24, making over $7 million, modestly, is the new horror film Bring Her Back.
I never heard of that.
It's directed... gonna butcher their name, like Filippo Brothers or whatever. They did another horror movie I saw. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really sorry, but it sounds like it's really good. I don't know much about it, but it looks really good. Their other movies are really good. In fourth place, coming in its third weekend with 10.9, so just under $11 million. Final Destination Bloodlines. That's a 43.7% drop. It maintains its position as the best Final Destinations film financially of all time.
Wow. Do you know about the ratings on that one?
You asked me that when it first came out, and as far as I know, yeah, but since then what I've gathered is like it's good. It's a good legacy movie, a great send off for the late great Tony Todd, but
maybe not the best of the franchise though.
No, definitely.
Gotcha.
Not. In third place, speaking of franchises, in its first weekend of release, a movie you're going to give us a little bit of insight on today, making $20 million, is Karate Kid Legends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little surprised that made the top 5.
Yeah, and I'll get into why I'm surprised, but yeah, I know why you'd be surprised.
Yeah. And the top 2 are still maintaining their spots. In the second place, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, making $27.2 million. That's a 57.5% drop in its second weekend. So not great, but not terrible. And in first place, Lilo and Stitch with a 57.7% drop. So very similar. I find that kind of interesting that the top 2 movies from Memorial Day's opening weekend had a similar drop.
Huge drop, actually.
That made, like I said, $61.8 million in its second weekend. Lilo and Stitch's worldwide total is at $772.5 million. So it's still holding very well and still tracking to probably cross $1 billion.
Yeah, that's a $1 billion movie.
We'll see throughout the rest of the month of June, but it should. Worldwide will help. Maybe it'll fall off, but
weekend without Sinners? Or was that last
This
weekend?
is the first week, the first weekend where Sinners did not make the top 5. Yeah, Sinners.
Damn, they held strong.
It's in its 7th week now. It finished 6th with $5.2 million. Sinners worldwide total is at a very nice $357 million, which for that, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's now rated. I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that puts it in the top 10 or top 15 all-time horror films grossing.
Really?
Yeah, horror films don't gross billions regularly. So
no, I know.
$357 million worldwide for this movie is a fantastic make on its budget. It's a fantastic profit.
Sinners is, I think it's now streaming on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV, maybe. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out.
It's definitely available for rent, digital on there. I don't know if it's like streaming. Just some people.
It might, you might have to pay.
I know what you meant for
bucks.
that, but like, it's not like on the streaming services. I think it's available on digital for rent now.
But this movie came out 7 weeks ago, and you and I love it so much. Like, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing to yourself? Go see that shit.
If we wanted to, we could spend the rest of this episode talking about Sinners, and
we could spend the next 5 episodes talking about it.
Did you see the deleted scene?
Yeah, there were a couple deleted scenes.
There were, but the one that I'm talking about is the one where Slim is singing in the juke joint, and it's that split diopter shot, and you see Sammy on the other side there, and it is. Oh my God, like that was left on the cutting room floor. That's gold. Like that scene is incredible.
I love Delroy Lindo too. Like him singing, like I feel bad they kind of cut his singing.
I understand that the pacing of it was probably a little choppy and didn't fit into the rest of the movie with a scene like that, because
it was a long scene.
It just sits on that split diopter shot. It doesn't cut to anything else, and it's a beautiful scene. I understand why it didn't make the film, but it just makes me want a director's cut all the more,
right?
Because I want to see everything that Coogler envisioned for this film. I mean, it's not a stretch to call it a masterpiece.
No, and also that scene is like a 4.5 minute scene, like still shot. Like I feel like maybe they could have cut it in half and still got it in there. Like 2.5 minutes would have been fine. Like I would get the message, you know.
Maybe, yeah. But even the way it was, I would be watching the movie if I knew I was watching a director's cut specifically, and it was just sitting on that shot for 4 minutes within the kind of movie that Ryan Coogler gave us with Sinners. I wouldn't even be upset. I wouldn't be phased. I'd just be watching it. I'd be like, "This is
beautiful.
Oh my God, it's beautiful." The film is a masterpiece. It was gold. You don't get films like this very often. But yeah, so it finished 6th in the box office, still holding strong in the top 10. Like I said last week, we don't do top 10, just top 5, but a top 10 is still a nice mark to have.
I think it's time to move on to some movies that came out recently. Speaking of all these movies, you and I each have a movie to quickly review. I saw Karate Kid Legends. You saw The Phoenician Scheme, and there's only one way to settle who goes first.
Yeah, there is. Everyone, you know him, you love him. The 8th president of your United States of America, Martin Van Buren. Woo!
Oh my God, what a hero.
Woo! All right, Jack, I'll let you
Definitely
call
a racist that we're hyping up right now, but it's fine.
I'm so sure of it. Fuck. I am so sure of it. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Martin Van Buren, he's not here.
Yeah, he's dead. It's fine.
I'm going to call heads.
You would. It's heads.
Am I the fucking goat or what? Come on, dude.
All right, so you will give us insight on why Karate Kid Legends finished 3rd in the box office and why that's a surprise.
Yeah, so, I mean, my quick review and rating for Karate Kid Legends, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. This was weird. Like, it was good, it was fun, but the pacing of this movie, and I don't think anyone really cares about spoilers. I'm going to go into spoilers. The pacing of this movie is so weird. Like, he doesn't get into a fight for at least like 25 minutes into the movie. Like, there's no fighting, and the kid already starts off knowing karate.
How long is the movie? I'm sorry.
It's an hour and a half. It's like an hour 34.
Okay.
So the first 20 minutes are him just moving to New York from Beijing. He's getting to know the people and everything like that. And it's really nice. It's really wholesome, and it is part of my. It's probably my favorite part of the movie is the beginning because the vibes are just really nice. Like this new kid in this new city. Of course, everyone's an asshole, but he meets this girl who's really nice to him, and this father is really nice to him. And he's doing this thing, and there's the cringe dialogue of the Karate Kid series and the Cobra Kai series is just another level, dude. Like they're known for having this cringy ass writing. But even putting that to the side, the next maybe half an hour, so already like an hour into the movie, Ralph Macchio is still not showing up, by the way. An hour into the movie, and it's an hour 34. And he's advertised. Jackie Chan has barely been in it. He's been in it. He's probably has 5 minutes of screen time and entire hour into the movie. But that next half an hour after he settles in, he's training this older man. Older, he's probably like 50. To teach him kung fu. So it's not karate, it's kung fu. And he's teaching him kung fu, and it's really interesting, like dichotomy, comparing the original Karate Kid to this one, where it's an old man teaching the young student. Now it's a young student teaching the old man. And then some stuff happens, and the old man ends up being hospitalized. And Jackie Chan is like, "We're gonna teach you how to win this competition, so we could get the old guy the money he needed." And then finally, Ralph Macchio shows up with like 25 minutes left in the movie, and the main fight. You know how in every Karate Kid movie and Cobra Kai and everything, they're always building up to like a tournament or something like that.
Yeah.
The main tournament is like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Like that is it. Like the training for the tournament, it says there's really good like graphics in this movie, like animation and stuff. Like for some reason, some of the stuff is animated. It says on the screen 7 days until the tournament. It's called the Five Boroughs tournament. And I'm like, oh cool, we're gonna get a training montage. 3 minutes of the seventh day, blah blah blah. You see him fighting. Ralph Macchio shows up. Oh, he's teaching him karate versus kung fu, and Jackie Chan and him are fighting over how to teach him. And then it's like, okay, the next day, the screen goes 4 days until the tournament. I'm like, oh, that was weird. Okay. 5 minutes go by, 0 days until the tournament. A 10-minute compilation of him training for the tournament. The tournament lasts 10 minutes. So it was just the weirdest pacing in a movie I might have ever seen. Weird to put your big third act in the last 20 minutes of this movie. The movie's just way too short. And I rarely ever say I want more from a movie, but I needed more from this. Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan advertised to be in this. Jackie Chan has 10 minutes of screen time. Ralph Macchio probably has like 4. And yeah, just weird pacing. Acting was good. Dialogue was cringy. But the main kid, I don't remember his name, the main actor. It's escaping me right now, but he was really great. So I would love to see him in more things. But yeah, I mean, that's just my review of the movie. I didn't love it. I did like the message and what they were going for and the vibes of the movie. But besides that, everything else was kind of a wash for me.
Was it like directly related to Cobra Kai in any way?
It's Cobra Kai is not mentioned once. Nothing from the show is mentioned once, except for the end scene. Again, spoilers. Ralph Macchio is back in California. The main people, Jackie Chan is back in Beijing. The main guy's back in New York, and Ralph Macchio comes inside his house, and boom, there's Johnny Lawrence, which kind of annoyed me because I wish Johnny Lawrence was in the movie.
Yeah, that's a real tease right there.
He had like 3 lines. He talks to Ralph Macchio for a little bit. He's funny. Again, like I'm watching this guy and I'm like, yo, this guy's fucking hilarious. I love Johnny Lawrence. I love William Zabka. And the movie itself is actually pretty funny. But yeah, he shows up at the end, and that's the only connection to Cobra Kai. And that was really it.
Yeah, it just feels very underwhelming. And I think, maybe there's this assumption that because it's a legacy film of a beloved franchise, it's going to have some sort of success. And I think the fact that it has the Karate Kid on its name is why it had a modest third place finish in the box office, but it is not going to maintain a top 5 spot for very long at all. And that's just because, like, think about someone like me who is probably not even going to go see it while it's in theaters. It's a testament to how little people care when there's nothing to actually engage you. Like, you just went to go see it because it was a social outing with a friend. Like, it's not
I
a
have
movie.
AMC A-list, so it's free.
Yeah, so I mean, when a film is so under the radar like this one, where people don't even really, like, probably casual people don't even really know it's out. And the more hardcore film lovers like us generally don't care.
Sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Excuse me.
Fucking sick, coughing on so, but yeah, no, like I don't care about it, and there doesn't seem to be much reason. And based on your review, it sounds very, unfortunately dull.
I think they tried to get people to care because they did advertise Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan being like main parts in this movie, and they were like, oh, if you like Cobra Kai, Ralph Macchio's here, Daniel LaRusso. If you like, the two people who liked the Jaden Smith Karate Kid movie from like 2010, Jackie Chan's back. And again, there's no connection besides that it's the same people. And I think that's what they were banking on. They were like, Cobra Kai's huge on Netflix. Everyone will come see it for Ralph Macchio, but I think word of mouth is going to get around that he's not even in this movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just a disappointment.
And those guys,
it's enjoyable, but it is a disappointment.
And those guys are just like collecting a paycheck, basically.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio is not a good actor, honestly, in my opinion. I think he was better when he was younger. I think nowadays I see him, I'm like, dude, it feels like you're not even trying, man. I don't know. That might just be me.
Well,
but hopefully you had more fun at your movie experience this week.
I did have a little more fun at my movie experience this week, and I'll withhold spoilers to the best of my abilities here because I know you still intend to see the Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah,
and
I think more people care about that movie too.
I do think that it. I mean, there were a few movies that came out this weekend. Ballerina also came out this weekend, the new John Wick movie. Haven't seen it yet, but we'll probably talk about it on the podcast next week a bit.
Probably.
But yeah, so the Phoenician Scheme is the new Wes Anderson film. I gave it 8 insert funny comments out of 10. Like I enjoyed it. Like you've seen one, you've seen them all. But that's not totally a criticism in any way. It's just that Wes Anderson films follow a rather simple formula of you have very specific shots that are usually involving great details of symmetry. You have big attention to color. You have a big attention to the aspect ratio of the film. And you have a large cast of great actors who suppress their own stardom in favor of character acting to fit the story. And in general, it is just the story within these Wes Anderson films that's actually changing around. Like, you have Asteroid City is about this weird desert town, and then you have the Phoenician Scheme, which is about this guy and his daughter who wants to become a nun. And basically, he wants to leave the family business to her, and he is trying to do this giant final heist, I guess, so to speak. And they call it the Phoenician Scheme. And so that's what the film is about. Benicio del Toro is fantastic in the lead. Mia Threppleton, she is the daughter. She is like one of the realest characters I've ever seen in a Wes Anderson film. And when I mean real, I guess in like sort of a Wes Anderson relatable way, like within that lens.
Because they're all very stylized. I feel like all of Wes Anderson's characters.
And you know what? Like as he's gone through his career, he's really leaned into that caricature more. Like if you look at his early work, it has that aesthetic. It has that same sort of great attention to style. And technical aspect, but I just feel like as he has gone on in his career, he's really caricaturized his own style.
I can see
and that's
that.
not necessarily a bad thing because he's the only person in the industry doing this kind of film right now. And like everyone loves it, or at least like most people do. I do. And with the Phoenician Scheme, he really was going for a more wacky, absurdist kind of film. Like I liked Asteroid City a little more than this one because Asteroid City really had more of a emotional punch at its center core, and it really made just the entire film, like, and the wackiness of that film so memorable. But then you look at the Phoenician Scheme, and it's really just more comedy, and it's really just more like right from the very start, the opening scene, because it's not a spoiler. And again, I am dancing around, but the opening scene basically is his character Jaja in a plane, and someone's trying to kill him, like someone's trying to shoot down the plane, and it just, the situation that he finds himself in with the pilot is so crazy, and like the bit, like the gags that Wes Anderson is pulling in these kinds of scenes, both visually and with the dialogue. It's clever, it's witty, and it's funny, but it's a little absurd, and yet I enjoyed it. It doesn't make it my favorite of his films all time. Like, I certainly don't think it's his crowning achievement. But I love this addition to his filmography, and I think that I'm honestly a little surprised how many people are going to see it. I just feel like I forget how much people actually do enjoy Wes Anderson, and then another one comes out, and we're all like, yeah, it's like, it's safe. We expect what the films are, and we love it every time. For the most part, some are a little better than others, but like every time he comes out with one, it's just like kind of a continuous blanket, like, of, yeah, I know what to expect, and I'm gonna like it. It's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be weird, but it's his.
Do you have a favorite Wes Anderson movie?
The Grand Budapest Hotel. And then Fantastic Mr. Fox would probably be second, but I haven't seen that one since before I got Letterboxd. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
I've only seen one Wes Anderson movie,
which is
Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is his highest rated one, at least on Letterboxd. So I'm excited to see this one next week, or in the next couple days.
I've seen most of them. I just pulled up my list on Letterboxd now. My favorite my favorite three after those two. So my favorite, I would say Asteroid City is probably my third favorite.
Really?
I loved Asteroid City.
Have you seen all of them or no?
I've never seen the Royal Tenenbaums, actually, and I've never seen the Darjeeling Limited.
Okay.
I've seen the rest: Grand Budapest, Mr. Fox, Asteroid City, The French Dispatch, Moonrise Kingdom, Isle of Dogs. I've seen those. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. That one is so good. That's with Bill Murray, and he's like in a submarine, and he's like going around all these different people because he's trying to get revenge on a shark, and it's just so stupid and so funny. Like, Bill Murray is such a key piece in these films, and he's in the Phoenician Scheme. The cast is great.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he plays God. Like, it's not a spoiler.
That's
it's in the cast
crazy.
list. He plays God. It's so funny. He's not in it very much. It's a very small part, but like, it's so funny. And then Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston are like,
yeah, I saw those on the trailers.
They're like the
look
Sacramento
hilarious.
brothers. They were so funny. They had the best scene in the whole movie. The scene when I'm just saying, the scene when they play basketball. I'll just leave it at that.
And that was in the trailer, at least some of it.
Yeah, like the scene when they're playing basketball is the funniest scene in the movie, and one of my favorite Wes Anderson scenes I've ever watched. Like, you're gonna love it. You're gonna crack up when you watch
Okay,
it.
good.
It's so funny. Especially because it's those two. Like, I love Tom Hanks, I love Bryan Cranston, and they are two. The both of them are such great fits for Wes Anderson.
How was Michael Cera?
That's my next. He is the perfect fit in this little troupe of Wes Anderson characters. He's like the long lost piece to the puzzle.
Wow.
He was so great as Bjorn. It was such a funny role. He has such a great twist in this movie. I'll leave it at that. But just like the way he plays his character is so good. And just so natural. It just fits this world. So major props. I hope Wes Anderson casts him in everything from now on.
I hope Michael Cera gets cast in everything.
Yeah, literally, no one in Hollywood is doing it like Michael Cera. No,
and that's honestly true.
Like, no, the pipeline that he has with the filmography and his work, like, it's just second to none, really.
And he's such a unique like style and niche like persona to have in a movie.
Yeah.
It's unbeatable.
Like he just fits that, highly stylized character acting that a Wes Anderson film has. And there's not enough character actors in Hollywood anymore. And so like I loved it. I think he was one of my favorite parts of the movie too, after Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston. So just a great movie. It's such a great cast. That's the thing about Wes Anderson. Then you'll see like, oh, Scarlett Johansson pops up. Like, oh.
Yeah, right. They're not even advertised, and they're like big names like
they're
that.
barely
like
in
Oscar
it.
winners.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I love how like so many people want to work with Wes and are willing to, like I said, suppress their stardom. They don't need to have big, geez.
Sorry, it's allergies, bro.
Go to the doctor, my guy.
Oh.
Like they don't need to have big parts in the film, you know what I mean, or anything like that. It's just like, I want to be a part of this universe and play a role in your show. And so, yeah, it was great. I loved the Phoenician scheme. I'm really excited for you to see it and give your thoughts.
Me too.
Next week. I think that's about it. Oh, I will say, like I praised the dialogue before, but this is actually what I think is one of the best written Wes Anderson films.
Okay, that's high praise.
Like, it's not my favorite. Like, Grand Budapest Hotel is my favorite. Like, that is like his magnum opus. But this one is so witty. So yeah, no.
Nice.
Everyone
I'm glad
listening,
you liked it.
everyone listening, go see it. Very, very solid 8 out of 10, if not 8.5. Like, it's a good movie.
Next up, we have some trailers and we have some news. I don't know what you wanted to get into first. The news or the trailers? I feel like we should just do all the trailers and all the news at the same time.
Yeah, I would say let's get these trailers out of the way first. And then we'll get a little bit into the news. The first trailer, it's a movie that I know everyone's really excited for, which is the trailer for Wicked for Good, the second half of Wicked, coming out a year after the first one. And what are your thoughts? We both watched the trailer, and what did you think?
I'm really excited. I loved the first movie, and I mean, I loved it, and I still didn't like it as much as everyone else. You know, like everyone I know loved, like this is like their favorite movie in the last like decade was Wicked.
Yeah, I mean, not me, but like I did love it probably more than you.
Probably, and I loved it, and I thought it was great. It was definitely my top 5 of 2024, or top 10 at least. And the second one, I've heard mixed reviews on the second act of the play, the original Wicked play. So I don't know how this movie's going to play out. It looks really good. It looks really interesting. It looks really action packed, you know, like a lot of shit is happening at the same time, which could be good. It could be bad. I don't know. But either way, I'm excited. And I think this movie is going to make a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. I mean, I like that it has a bit more of a serious tone to it. I really hope and think that they heard some of the feedback about the coloring and, trying to correct it. The lighting is still weird, like especially that shot of Ariana Grande when she's walking, when she's dressed, as, Glinda there, and she has the wand.
When she walks out onto the balcony?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it definitely looks like she's lit like in all directions. It almost would be like if the sun was all around her at once. It's not possible. Like there's no shadows in modern Hollywood anymore, which is like a conversation that I could talk about forever and ever, like for another time, how there are no more shadows. But even though if the lighting still looks a little weird because they filmed them at the same time, the coloring seems to look a little better. It looks a little not quite as muted as the first one. And like, this whole world of Oz like should not be muted. Even if this is a more serious toned story than the Wizard of Oz, like it should be colorful and fantastical.
There's people literally called munchkins.
Yeah,
also, why are they always ginger? I have no idea, but it's not a great look for my people.
Well, I'm just saying.
They always make the munchkins like a bunch of freaks.
I'm a couple inches taller than you, so I think you're kind
Who, you?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, whatever.
You're kind of a munchkin.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So I noticed that at least. I'm excited for this movie. Yeah, I've heard the same things about the second half, but it's also a show that everyone loves, and I love the serious tone, and it's going to make, like you said, a shit ton of money, and it's going to get a lot of Oscar nominations and probably some wins.
Oh, yes. what'd you think about them showing Dorothy and the gang multiple times throughout this trailer?
I mean, they're definitely trying to hype people up for that aspect. I'm sure I think she plays a pretty big role towards the end, but like, I don't even know if she does in the actual musical, but I think they're trying to put a bigger role for her in the movie.
I think that I just hope they're not trying to get people with that, and like she's barely in it.
Well, she's probably not going to be in it that much, but like,
I doubt it.
I don't mind them hyping that up because she's definitely going to be in it. And who do you think's going to play her? I know there was some concern that like, please don't CGI Judy Garland. Like, please don't fucking CGI Judy Garland. It would be awful. I've heard rumors that it's Alicia Weir. She played the vampire in Abigail.
Oh.
And because I think she was at the premiere of the first Wicked, and so there was like rumors that she was Dorothy. That would be a fantastic casting. Like,
yeah, I would
like
be
that. So down for that. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
But
yeah, no, we're both excited. It's gonna be a good time regardless.
I mean, I love musicals. I grew up a theater kid, so like, there's no doubt in my but there's no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna have a good time with this one. But that's not the only trailer that came out. We had some other ones come out for Netflix, and I'll stick with movies to start. Frankenstein, the new trailer.
Yeah, dude.
The next film from Guillermo del Toro coming out later this year on Netflix.
Fucking sick.
Mind-blowing. Like, my mind is blown looking at this trailer. I just want to say, I hope that the movie gets some sort of theatrical release. Because it absolutely deserves it. Like, it better.
You know, we haven't seen it yet. It hasn't been revealed to us, but do you think Jacob Elordi is too handsome to play Frankenstein's monster?
No. Because I think that the makeup team is probably going to have done such a great job. Like, that's what I'm saying.
You think they're just going to disfigure his face and shit?
For sure. I mean, look at like Bill.
But he's still Jacob Elordi.
They've made Bill. Look at how they made Bill Skarsgård look in Nosferatu.
I don't even know how he looks in that, but I know how he looks in It.
Oh, you never saw Nosferatu?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, I could have sworn you did. Well,
no.
Crazy. They make him look absolutely crazy. Looks crazy as Pennywise. Yeah. In It.
Yeah, you're right.
So. Like,
but he's just a handsome guy. I can't buy it until I see it.
I'm not worried about it. I love that they're not showing us. And it just, the world.
Yeah, me too.
The world looks so intense. And I love this revitalization between Nosferatu and now Frankenstein. We're bringing the OG monster movies back. Like those old Universal films from the 30s, the 20s, the 40s, like they're coming back. And like we're getting modern versions from actual auteurs and filmmakers. And that's so cool. And that's why I'm like, if this just gets dumped on Netflix, I'm going to cry. Like it needs.
Do you remember? You remember in like 2017 or something when Tom Cruise and I don't even know, a bunch of other people tried to create the Dark Universe?
Yeah.
Where it was the Invisible Man and the Mummy and all that shit. How would you feel if they ended up making a lot of these movies of original, like, not fairy tale, but like lore characters like Frankenstein and vampires and Dracula, and they connected them to the same universe?
No. I don't think it belongs in a universe. I think they're just tales. I think that I like that they are. I don't know. It's the same thing I would say. I don't know that everything needs to be franchised. I just like that Robert Eggers was like, I want to make a Nosferatu film, so I'm going to. And Guillermo del Toro, again, these are icons of the horror genre. And Guillermo del Toro's like, I want to make a Frankenstein movie, so I'm going to. I don't know, like, maybe you could connect it and it'd be cool. I'm not saying you couldn't. I just don't know that you need to. I don't think there's a point. I think these movies work as they are.
I think it'd be cool if, like, maybe they referenced each other every now and then, but like it's not like they're gonna team up in like the Avengers.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Invisible Man teaming up with like the Avengers.
What are you gonna do with it? So no, I'm okay with it as is, but I'm very excited. Like that one shot of like that freaking like fire like goddess demon thing, whatever.
Oh yeah,
like sitting there was nuts. I was like, holy shit,
dude! And Oscar Isaac looks amazing. Like he
looks fantastic. The costume and the set design looks beautiful. Like it just looks like they put so much time and attention and care into this film. I'm very excited. I don't
know if I've ever seen a Guillermo del Toro movie. I can't even. What's like his most famous movies?
Did Pan's Labyrinth. He did Shape of Water. Those are the two they reference in the trailer. He did the Pinocchio movie recently.
This might be my first one.
Wow.
That's cool. I'm seeing Wes Anderson this year for the first time. Well, I saw it last year for the first time, but Wes Anderson this year and Guillermo.
You know what? Like, it's like you've said though. You've always been more of like the fandom guy and the comic guy.
Yeah.
And you're opening yourself up a bit to filmmakers and more just, I guess, artistic indie work.
Expanding my palette.
You're expanding your palette, and like, I'm not the guy to shit on fandom. I love that stuff too. It's just different.
And I get that.
It's a different
I
kind
love
of
it both.
And like, you may put more value on one or the other, and that's fair. But I think as long I enjoy both, and you enjoy both, and that's fine. So
we got some fandom stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So speaking of fandom, there's a new Knives Out movie coming out called Wake Up Dead Man, and that trailer also dropped from Netflix. And what are your thoughts?
I think I'm so split on if I like the theme, like the church, like religious theme of this movie. Because one of the guys is like a pastor or priest or something.
Yeah, that's
but I love the cast.
What's his name? Josh O'Connor.
From Challengers.
Yeah.
I always am excited to see what Knives Out cast is gonna be.
And this one's good.
And I'm really excited to see Jeremy Renner again after his accident. If only there was an app where I could talk about Jeremy Renner and just learn about what Jeremy Renner and see what he's up to these days. If only there's an app I could use.
Dude, if only there was an app to talk about this.
If only there was an app.
Crazy.
Dude. What do you think about the plot?
I like it. It's definitely going to be the darkest one so far.
I think so too.
And it's really going after this kind of like churchy, like religious murder mystery, small town. Like I really dig it, especially because Glass Onion was very comedic and trying to be
that's a little too goofy, I think.
And that's fine, but it was definitely just trying to lean into the references of the time with COVID and Among Us and this and that. And it was a great movie. I loved Glass Onion. But yeah, like, remember when Benoit Blanc's playing Among Us with Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, who's the imposter, guys?
Dude, rest in peace, Angela Lansbury. She hopefully wasn't the imposter, but she got kicked off the show.
Wait, who is she?
She was one of the. What do you mean? Who's Angela Lansbury? She's like an all-time
I have no idea who
actress.
that is.
She just passed away. She was an all-time.
Never heard of her in my life.
Damn. This generation's cooked.
Well, I'll do my research after.
Chat. This generation is cooked. Anyway, but yeah, no, he's playing Among Us. But this movie looks like it's going to, like, I'm sure Benoit Blanc's still going to get his quips in there. He always does. But this movie looks like it's really taking a more serious tone, and I like that. And again, I hope it gets a theatrical release. Like, I definitely am tired of all these straight to streaming when it's like deserves. Like, Knives Out came out in theaters. Glass Onion I saw in theaters, but it only got a week. Like, these are movies.
Which one did you like better?
When Glass Onion first came out, I was like, this is better. Probably Knives Out is better, to be honest. But they're both so good. Like, people were hating on Glass Onion, and it was for no reason. Like, that was a fantastic sequel.
Yeah, I love Knives Out, but Glass Onion, it didn't stand up to Knives Out for me. But I still liked it. I still enjoyed it.
So that's coming out. I spoiled it. Stranger Things. Netflix had one more announcement. It was Stranger Things.
I wonder what it is. There you go.
I put the cart before the horse.
Season 5, baby.
Season 5, finally. Holy shit. I mean, we have been waiting so long. Definitely a problem for Netflix with how long they take in between seasons. It's not all been Stranger Things' fault. Obviously, there's been COVID, there's been delays and strikes and different things. But
I'm sure some behind-the-scenes stuff with the actors, maybe. They're all busy doing their own shit.
But we're finally here. And Stranger Things is that show because so much time passes between each season where people are like, they stop caring. But once it comes out, everyone cares. Because at the end of the day, this is Netflix. Like, this is their bread and butter. This is their top IP.
Yeah.
And they know that.
You actually, we were just talking about our junior year, our COVID year. That's when you showed me Stranger Things.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd never seen it, and you showed me seasons 1 through 3, and then 4 came out, and we watched that.
And I mean, obviously, they didn't give us much, but from what we got, it looks intense. Like, it looks like they are throwing it all into putting all their chips in the middle on this
Did you
last
hear what
season.
David Harbour said about the final episode?
No, what did he say? What did he say?
He said that they land the plane. He was like, "This is the best episode of the whole series. Is the final episode," and he said they were going through the table read, and in the last like half an hour, they all had to stop, and because everybody was crying,
Yeah.
like sobbing, bawling their eyes out. And I don't know if that's because a character dies or something happens, or it's because it's the last episode, but they're all done with that job. But either way, he says it is the perfect ending. He probably has to say that, but I trust him,
I mean, this show obviously has been known for being a little afraid of killing off a main character. Like,
They'll bring a new character every season just to kill them.
like Max, obviously, we thought was a goner in season 4 with Vecna, and like she's here, but she's just kind of like in the hospital. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm
I feel
sure
like they're
there's
gonna bring her back.
there's gonna. Well, I wonder if like her battle's gonna be all inside
Like
Vecna's.
internal?
Yeah, like
Maybe.
because we're finally gonna learn a lot more lore this season. We're gonna learn the truth about the Upside Down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, which I'm excited for, and why Will was taken. I'm hoping.
well, like we see that one shot in the trailer where it's like it's an exterior, but we can assume based on it looks like it's 11 and Hopper, and it's like that giant wall.
Oh yeah,
That I'm pretty sure that's like the edge of the Upside Down. Like,
That would be
I
crazy.
think there's a theory I saw where it's like the Upside Down is just Hawkins. There is no rest of the world. It's just Hawkins, and like beyond that is a void. And they're like, I don't know where it goes from
I wonder
there.
if they could
but,
do
like,
something with that, like
Maybe.
break beyond the void or something.
But and like, what would even be there?
I don't know. Like 11's always pulling up with some random ass shit power that she can use to like close a portal or open one or do something that
Do
she
you
can
think
do.
we're definitely getting the Mind Flayer this last season here?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of want Vecna to just send everything possible at them. Send the Mind Flayer, send the Demidog, send the Demogorgon, whatever.
The Demogorgons,
But I know 11,
yeah.
like, she can just randomly do shit. Like, she can just sit in a bathtub and, like, mind control with someone who's, like, on this other side of the country. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I do love that show.
Yeah, no, it's going to be so exciting. It just looks like such a great ending. I wanted to ask you what you think about the 3-part release, and they're all on holidays.
Yeah, so what is it? It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
right? Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. I get why they're doing it, because you want Netflix, their whole, like, thing is binging. That's their whole thing. Everything comes out in one day, you binge it. But to get people talking about a show or something for longer than a couple days, you let it, flesh it out a little bit. You take your time. You have weekly releases. Like, that's how people talk about shows. Oh, can't wait for next episode. Oh, what happened last episode? And Netflix, I think they're realizing is that's been a struggle for them when everything comes out in one day. People finish it in one day. Like, if it all came out in one day, I would finish the whole season in 1 or 2 days. So I am annoyed that I have to wait, but I get why I'm waiting. So it doesn't really annoy me, and I'm glad that we get the dates early, because I like Invincible, for example, Amazon Prime Video. They did the same thing. They released the first half of the season, but didn't tell us when we were getting the second half, and months went by until we got a release date, and that would piss me off if they did that. But them telling us when we get it, I don't mind it. I'm patient enough. I've been waiting years for this season. I can wait a couple more days.
I just don't like the multi-part model in general, because it feels like you're split in the middle of like doing the binge and doing the weekly release. Like, I feel like you should commit to one or the other.
Right. I don't think Netflix like can do the weekly release. Like, I think that's in their like contract or whatever, like their bylaws.
But that's by choice. They don't they
they could probably change that.
Yeah. I think that Thanksgiving and Christmas is fine, but New Year's Eve to me is like, everyone has plans and is doing stuff. It feels weird to release your series finale. Like, I know I'm going to make time and watch it. I don't know what my New Year's plans are yet, but like, I'm sure.
Well, during the day, I'd watch it.
Yeah, but like, what if you're away?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But like, I feel like let's say, you know, we all got together for New Year's, right? I'd still be like, yo, we're sitting down and watching this finale before
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah, that's the
dude,
thing, 'cause
almost
it's the finale, too.
low key, we should do New Year's together just so we can fucking watch the finale.
Run it back like we did last year.
We could, just so we could watch the fucking finale. How
Dude,
fun would that be?
You just made me think. Spoilers are going to be a fucking nightmare.
That's why
because
I'm not taking any chances. Like,
people are going to miss the releases. Some people are not going to be able to watch entire 4 episodes on Thanksgiving. I'm not. I can't watch 3 episodes on Christmas, and I probably am not going to be able to watch the finale because it's going to be 2.5 hours long, I'm sure. And I probably can't watch that on New Year's Eve. So the fact that that's at risk for spoiling just because they made it that day actually does bother me a little bit. I didn't even think about that until now. Because imagine watching this whole series and then getting the final episode spoiled for you.
after all these years, it would be devastating. Because this
And
is
just
like,
because it was on that day. If it came out the day after or the day before, you would have been fine. But because it came out on that day, you're busy, you can't, and you get fucked
and
because of that.
we know in advance. So like, if you care enough, you'll make time. I guess. Like, I know I care enough to not get the
I
finale
know,
spoiled.
but it might be 3 hours long. Like they said, it's movie length episodes at times. Like, I
Dude.
don't know if I can do that.
That's what I'm saying. We have no choice but to spend New Year's together, just so we're
Right.
all together and we can take time to watch it.
I'm down, bro. I'm down.
Well, that's going to be very exciting. We're going to talk all about Stranger Things season 5 as it comes out. We have some news that we're going to breeze through a bit here in this next segment, and I think we're going to start with one that I know Jack wants to get to, which has to do with Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah. So it's been all but confirmed. Lots of rumors, and we talked about this earlier. You have heard this, that the Hulk is going to be in, and Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And with those rumors and apparently behind the scenes leaks and stuff like that, he's going to be fighting Spider-Man at some point in the movie. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. I mean, quickly, I don't like it because when are we getting Spider-Man his own movie in the MCU?
I agree.
That's my biggest gripe with it. So that you agree?
Yeah, and also it just is it continues this trend of the MCU having no clue what to do with Hulk, and for years having no clue what to do with this character.
They're throwing him in everybody else's movie.
Yeah.
Throw him in a Hulk. Throw him in a Thor.
I
movie.
get that they
throw him
don't
in
have the
Avengers.
rights to do a Hulk movie, but it's just ridiculous. I
know.
And I agree that they need to give Spider-Man like his own movie, and it's probably going to be the thing where like, oh, Hulk remembers Peter Parker when no one else does, but it's like,
Have you seen that comic strip?
yeah, I have.
Yeah, in the comics, yeah. I mean, that does happen. I'm sure we're gonna get that scene, but I don't need that scene. Like, it's a really beautiful moment in the comics.
I don't need it right now.
I don't need it right now. I want Spider-Man, Tom Holland to do his own thing for once, to be street level. I mean, the first movie he was with Iron Man, and then I actually don't. Well, the second one was like Nick Fury, which is like fine, but the third one, Doctor Strange is there, and I get he needed to be there for the plot, but give him his own movie. Why does Hulk
And
need
you know
to show up in this
what?
movie?
Like, maybe it'd be cool if it was like an end credit scene to like tease,
Yeah, I
you
could-
know.
yeah,
but-
I could see that. Sure.
But I agree. I'm not sure if I'm like fucking with it. Well, I guess
And-
we'll see. But you know, keep Mark Ruffalo
Like
busy.
this was such an exciting concept when they really like did tell us that this is Spider-Man's movie. His origin is over. That was his origin, was those 3 movies together, and now he's on his own. He's doing Spider-Man shit in New York City. Like that's what Spider-Man does. He's a solo swinger, you know, and he's doing the hero gig alone. And the Hulk's gonna show up, and if he's the main antagonist, I'm gonna be pissed because that makes no sense. I would love to see a savage Hulk, but not in a Spider-Man movie.
I don't know if he's gonna be the main antagonist. We'll see.
If he's an ally at some point, again, like there's no way that Spider-Man beats Hulk unless they like ruin the Hulk some more, which I guess they have no problem doing. So either we're gonna watch Spider-Man get his ass kicked, which I don't want to see in a Spider-Man movie, or I mean I'm fine with seeing that, but not all the time. You know, he always gets his ass kicked at some point. Or Hulk's gonna get his ass kicked, which is even worse, honestly.
Yeah, which
So I
we've
don't know.
seen before, and you're just
I know he hasn't won a fight in years,
you're making
dude.
it worse. So
He loses to Iron Man and Avengers. He loses to Thor in the Avengers, and he loses to Iron Man in Avengers 2. He loses to Thanos. He loses to Thor in Thor Ragnarok. He doesn't win a single fight, and then he just stops showing up.
yeah.
So Hulk can't lose, and he's going to. So I don't know. It is Spider-Man is like my favorite fictional. I've said this a million times. My favorite fictional property of all time, fictional character, fictional anything. And I just think that this is gonna really disappoint me in a way that I was hoping it wouldn't. But we'll have to see for sure. But yeah, I just want to talk about that real quick.
Well, before I get to the rest of my news, just hold on a second. I'm gonna close my back door. Just leave this in. You don't even need to take. But let me just go close my back door. For
some behind the scenes stuff right here.
Yeah, well, it's just
in the bloopers.
It's bothering me. No, so just
it is bright. It is bright.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just bothering me. So I don't know. Just entertain the crowd for like 10 seconds.
All right, I got you.
And I know what you said last time. I see you're leaning in. I know what you said last time. I heard it.
But get the fuck out
I'll
of here.
hear it on Tuesday, the day with the least holidays.
Yeah. Guys, Josh is gone. You come here often? He's so fucking bald and so handsome, though. I love it. And that's the weather for today. Welcome back, Josh. It's going to be partly cloudy, 76 degrees over here. Just talking to the audience about that. What else do you want to talk about?
I just made up more memories for you to pretend we have together. Just keep working, my little. Oh, is this thing recording? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it doesn't let me out. I haven't seen the sun in days.
Okay. So we're moving on to a little bit more news. Again, we've made it clear that you don't love horror, but this is a couple of things that I think are really exciting. So right now, you've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I assume, right?
No, sir.
Yeah, none of those movies. Well, there is a bidding war going on right now for the rights to make a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Because this is considered one of the cult classics of horror films. You either love it or you hate it, but it is considered one of the cult classics.
What, did someone just lose the rights?
No, I'm not. I honestly, I don't know. Honestly,
who makes those movies? What production company?
The original one was made in 1974 by Vortex.
Oh, so it's all like some bullshit company.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Newer ones have been made, like the one that came out in 2013. Who did that? That was like Lionsgate. So I guess they're selling the rights now. So regardless, the rights are being shopped around, and the race is quite interesting. So I wanted to read to you the people who have thrown their hats into this chainsaw ring.
Okay.
The first is Jordan Peele and his film studio Monkey Paw. Now, I don't know if he himself would do it or if it would just be his studio. But still,
I trust Jordan Peele. I haven't seen any of his movies, if I'm being honest. I'm going to watch Get Out this week for the first time.
Yeah.
But he did really push for Monkey Man to be made.
Which was great. The Dev Patel film.
Yeah, and it was awesome. So I trust him for these types of things.
That film came out of Monkey Paw. That was out of his studio.
Yeah, that was all Jordan Peele.
So the next person, the next contestant behind door number 2 is Taylor Sheridan with Paramount. He is the creator behind the show Yellowstone. And he also did the movie Wind River, which is with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. So he's put his hat in the ring. Yellowstone's a pretty good show. This is not the choice I would want to see come away with this, but it wouldn't be the worst choice that's on this list either.
Okay.
The next one is a really good choice. Oz Perkins with Neon. Oz Perkins did Long Legs and the Monkey, which you saw.
Oh, I like the Monkey, yeah.
So he would be working with Neon, the studio we talked about last week or the other week, who has won the Palme d'Or 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
So that is one hat in the ring. So with the Long Legs and Monkey director. The next, this is a really interesting, Glenn Powell and A24. I don't know if Glenn Powell would be directing, but he would produce and be a part of the creative team behind a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film with A24.
Does he work with A24? Is that something that's been happening? I don't...
Well, it was Hitman. No, Hitman came out on Netflix.
That was on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't... Well, that's so... I don't even know. I mean, are these are serious movies? Or are they like stupid, funny, like horror?
No, it's it could be. It's serious. There's like definitely a serious tone. It's a horror film.
That's not a Glenn Powell movie. I feel like he would be in it, and that would be like he'd be making quips and jokes the whole time and like ruin the tone of these movies. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of these movies, but I think that's what I would get from a Glenn Powell Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he'd be in it. He might just be part of the production behind it, which could be like, if he gets the right talent with A24.
Yeah, it could be
A24
cool,
is a
I
good
guess.
studio for something like this.
I trust them.
So the last one is the only one that doesn't have a name attached to it, and it's not going to surprise you why. It's Netflix.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, quick question. Of those 5, which one, who would acquire the rights that would make you the most intrigued to go check out a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film?
Jordan Peele, 100%.
With Monkey Paw
with Monkey Paw.
would be,
Even if he's not directing it, I think
that would be the one
him,
that would get you the most likely to see it.
Him showing it's ever since Monkey Man. Like when I heard that he pushed for Monkey Man, he was like, "No, we need this movie." Like him putting faith in a movie like this and a franchise like this, I think could be amazing.
Well, okay. Then quick question. I'm just going to preface right now. I think we might punt our AI conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
And the thing is this is like, do you know the running gag between Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon, where like,
yeah, it's like, oh, see you next week.
yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
like this is how our AI. We've been talking about wanting to do this for so long, and we thought this week we'd fit it in, and that's why we introduced it. But I'm looking at how much time we've been doing, and I have a couple more things here, and I'm like, I want to be able to give it the time it deserves. So
we should guarantee it for next week. Like, just put that as like the first thing we do.
We say that now.
I know.
We say that now. We'll see, but we are going to talk about it soon. It is important, and it is a conversation we want to have. But
it is really
sorry, Matt Damon. We didn't have enough time for you. But I wanted to ask you back to this now.
Now that we have more time for this.
now that we canceled that with more time to talk about Texas Chainsaw, I figured you'd say Jordan Peele. So besides Jordan Peele, which of those 4 names would you be next most likely to want to go, or not want to, but be intrigued to go see the movie?
What do we have? We have Glenn Powell with A24. We have Netflix. Who are the other 2?
Oz Perkins with Neon, and Taylor Sheridan with Paramount.
Honestly, probably Glenn Powell, A24.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I'm like, oh, if Glenn Powell is, he's really passionate about what he does, and from the interviews I've seen, like he tries his hardest. He doesn't shoe it in or phone it in. So I think if he does it, like production wise, I think he can get the right talent for it, and I trust A24. I think A24 puts out bangers, so I think if he's in it, it might not be the best, but if he's working behind the scenes with A24, I think it could do really well, and it could get butts in seats, I think.
I agree. I will say Glenn Powell and A24 would be more like eyebrow raising to me. Like I'd be, okay, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, oh.
But
what was your number 1?
Well, my number 1 is Jordan Peele. I want to see Jordan Peele get this movie. My number 2 would probably be Oz Perkins with Neon. I want to see Neon and Oz Perkins play around in this content. I think that would be cool, just because Neon is such a kind of gritty type of film studio, and I'd love to see Oz Perkins' take on this. Glenn Powell with A24 would be 3rd, and I guess Netflix is last. I don't want to see Netflix get this because they're probably not going to. Like I say that, and then Frank, we talked about some of their stuff that looks like really good, but just because I don't want to see it go straight to streaming, and I'm worried about that.
Netflix either puts their whole bussy into the movie, or they just don't give a shit.
It also worries me because there's no name attached to it. Like if I saw that they were like, we would do this with said person,
they just want it to have it.
I'd maybe be interested, but yeah, they just want to have it. So then 4th would be Taylor Sheridan with Paramount, because again, I liked Yellowstone. I thought that was a really cool show. Not like amazing, but like it was good. It'd be like I don't want to see him get this, but like if I had to choose between him and Netflix, it would be, I guess, interesting to see his take. I'll leave it at that. But that's it. So I just wanted to share that. I think it's really interesting, and I think they have a lot of interesting people trying to bid for what is a really famous franchise in the horror community. And that moves on to the other piece of news I had, which is another famous franchise in the horror community, the Twilight Zone. We have confirmation that Ben Stiller is going to direct a new Twilight Zone movie for Warner Bros. And it will also be produced by Leonardo DiCaprio's studio as well.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the original Twilight Zone or anything. I've seen
like 2 episodes.
I've seen a bunch of the episodes. I love the Twilight Zone. It's an iconic, original sci-fi, fantasy, horror, thriller show.
Did you see the Jordan Peele ones?
No, I never did, actually. Funny enough,
I heard it wasn't
Jordan
great.
Peele. But coming off of Severance and seeing the talent of Ben Stiller behind the camera makes
I forgot
me
he did that.
Really, he's the main director and vision behind. It's him and Dan Erickson. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the director for most of the episodes of Severance, and like seeing what he did with that, and even like there are horror aspects in Severance, especially when you think about the setting of Lumen in this very monotone, like bland hallway work setting. He plays with that playground very well, and so to see him kind of dive into another sci-fi-esque horror, because that's really what it is. Like Severance is a sci-fi horror, so to see him dive into that, I think he'll add a real emotional element to it. And there's just something about some actors when they become behind the camera, like they have an understanding of both sides, in front and behind, and this wall and how they make it work on both ends. And Ben Stiller has proven himself to me, and it's Ben Stiller. I mean, he is obviously, his family are icons of the industry. You know, the late Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira were an iconic comedy duo, and Ben Stiller himself has created a legendary career. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to see him take on the Twilight Zone, which is one of the most iconic franchises from that time period and to this day. And see his take on it and modernize it. I think that's going to be cool.
I think that's really cool. You know what's funny is that the way it's like, I didn't know about this. All I knew was that we're talking something Twilight related, and I thought you were talking about Twilight, like the book series or like the movies. And I was like, why the fuck would I care about that? I was like, why are we talking about Twilight? Like, what? And I thought like Ben Stiller was doing something with Twilight. I was like, what is he gonna replace Robert Pattinson as the vampire?
You know,
like,
it's funny actually. Speaking of Twilight, I made a deal with a friend to get them to watch all of Back to the Future. Never seen Back to the Future or Dune. So the 3 Back to the Future movies and the 2 Dune movies, and in exchange, at some point soon, I'm going to have to rewatch/watch the Twilight movies 1 to 5.
You've seen them?
Well, I've definitely seen 1 or 2 of them at least. My sister loved them growing up.
I've only seen the first one.
I've seen the first one. I think I've seen like Breaking Dawn or whatever.
Is that the last one?
I don't know.
I have no idea. There's like how many are there? There's like 5.
There's 5. There's 5. Which is why I did the 3 Back to the Futures and the 2 Dunes.
Yeah,
because
dude, you kind of lucked out too, because the Dune movies are long. So like they definitely have like an extra like half hour of screen runtime at least.
But she's like, you know, oh man, these are such good movies, and I'm like, and she knows it's just like the Twilight movies are gonna suck. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know she's a fan. No disrespect, but anyway, I digress. Ben Stiller not doing that Twilight; he's doing the Twilight Zone.
That's cool. I'm definitely gonna watch that because I did see a couple episodes of the original Twilight Zone.
You gotta watch Severance.
I know. You know what? I love Ben Stiller. Tropic Thunder. I loved Night at the Museum, bro. Like, I should just watch anything he makes because I do love it. It's on my list, man. I'm almost done going through my list.
Well, I guess that's our next segment is Seesaw. But I was gonna be like, what's the show you're watching right now that you can't watch Severance?
Well, I'll tell you a bunch of stuff that I'm watching right now that's not on my Seesaw. I'm still watching The Rookie. It's long. I started Superstore. I just wanted another sitcom because I've been going through a bunch of sitcoms recently. What else am I watching? New TV show on Hulu called Adults came out. It's only 8 episodes or 10
I heard
episodes
about
maybe.
that one.
It's not bad right now. I've only watched the first episode, but I'm just going through all these shows. I feel like there's something else, but you know, there's always gonna be something.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, I'm watching a couple. Like, the one thing that didn't make it on I was so disappointed with the Seesaw last week. Is Hacks. And since then I finished the first season. There's 4 seasons. They just came out the 4th one, and they just announced actually while I'm talking about it that a 5th one's coming out. And I just finished the first, and it's a great show. You know what I mean? So like, but you got to watch Severance. Like Severance has been the show to beat, in my opinion.
Before we move on to our seesaw, I've been actually wondering this ever since the beginning of this podcast, and you just reminded me because I know the Hacks like creator was on Conan O'Brien's podcast, and I want to know. I know you love that podcast. What is your favorite podcast?
Oh, haha. Well, it probably is his. I mean, I will say something else, I guess, but like. It probably is Conan's because he's so funny, and I think he's great. I think he's transitioned his late night show very well from his talk show Conan on TBS to this platform, and it's allowed him to not be in this structured. And he's talked about it too, how he's not like stuck in that rigid schedule of television, and especially being on cable. Like now, and he's so naturally funny. And the interviews are so great. Like I loved his interview with Carol Burnett that he did a little while ago on the podcast when he had her on. Carol Burnett is a legend. So really loved that. I really like, it's actually a sports podcast, but 32 Thoughts, the podcast with Elliot Friedman. I get a lot of news and information and like inside stuff. Like I'm a big hockey fan, so I get
shout out them.
I get a lot from that. So that's a cool podcast that I generally listen to. I mean, it comes out like a couple times a week. I usually listen to like parts. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. But love doing podcasts.
Yeah, man. You ready to seesaw it up?
Let's seesaw it up. Who's going?
Oh, you know what? Before we seesaw, should we make our announcement, or you want to do that after?
No, let's seesaw. All right,
we'll seesaw.
Damn, now you
don't worry about what we're talking about, guys.
Now you're teasing the people.
Oh, yeah, I'm teasing them. I'm teasing
playing around with our food before we eat it.
Yeah. You want to go first, or I go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So, something that I saw. Actually, I'm going to start with something I want to see. This was this was Brandon's last week. His C. Now, if you're listening to this right now, that means the last like 15 minutes of this did not get lost. Hallelujah.
Yes. But, we had that problem last week.
But Brandon's C last week was 28 days later. So I'm using that this time because we talked about it a little bit last week, and I felt bad that it got lost. I really want to see this movie, directed by Danny Boyle. It comes out later this month. It's the start of a new trilogy for this franchise. And I just watched 28. So it's 28 years later. Did I say days?
You said days.
I'm an idiot. 28 years later. Sorry. Because I just saw 28 Days Later for the first time a couple months ago. And then I watched 28 Weeks Later with Jeremy Renner, if only we had an app to talk about
it. How was I supposed to know that?
Right? With Jeremy Renner, 28 Weeks Later, I watched last month. And like these movies are definitely unique, and because of the way they use like the first one was literally filmed on a camcorder. You know what I mean? It's like their approach to actually filming these kinds of movies, and the way they frame the action. It's really unique. It's different. It's not for everyone, but I enjoy it and I respect it. And so I'm very excited to see the new one because, and we'll talk about it more when the movie comes out, but they literally like rigged they filmed it on iPhones, and they literally had like this rig of like 20 iPhones on a dolly, and they were using to film these these like crazy horror sequences, and it looks nuts. And the trailer looks really cool. Aaron Taylor Johnson stars in it. Ralph Fiennes, who's goated, he's in it. I'm so excited for this movie. And 28 Days and 28 Weeks were both really good too.
You see, the trailer won an award for like whatever the Oscars version of the trailer of like trailers.
Yeah, which I didn't even know existed. Yeah.
I didn't know existed either until I found out that this movie won an award for that.
Yeah, it was a really good trailer. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did.
So that's something I want to see. It's something that I saw recently is the Stanley Kubrick film Barry Lyndon. It's a long one. Comes in at a nice, spicy 185 minutes, but it is a great film. Stanley Kubrick. Basically, it's about the rise and fall of this Irish rogue. It takes place in 1750s, 60s Ireland, so you'd like it. And he like kind of like whittles his way into different militaries and eventually like into high society, and how he assumes this identity of Barry Lyndon. It's directed by Stanley Kubrick. Like I said, Kubrick was really good at just like diving into different genres, and for most of the part he was able to succeed. Like he had his historical, like this film, it's interesting because originally he was going to do a Napoleon biopic, and then it kind of mutated into this, what ended up being Barry Lyndon. But it was beautiful. Every shot, every single frame, it's like a painting, and they're literally inspired by real life artwork. And it literally, like when you're watching it, you think it's a painting. Like you don't realize that these are real people and this is a real shot. It's just beautiful. Like it's so much attention to that detail, and the depth a field and every shot. It's just beautiful. I could go on and on raving about this film forever. It's long, but Ryan O'Neal is great, and it's split into 2 parts, and they're both really well thought out. A lot of great bits. It's honestly one of Kubrick's funniest. Like there's a lot of irony in it, which makes for an entertaining time. And you just look at some of his other work. Have you ever seen a Kubrick film?
I don't think so.
Didn't you see a Clockwork?
I saw The Shining.
You seen The Shining? Did you see A Clockwork Orange? I thought.
No.
But you and Max watch that. Our buddy or one of our roommates.
No, I think he wanted me to, and I was like, fuck no.
Well, I've seen most of his work. He did like Eyes Wide Shut or Eyes Wide Open. What the fuck is that movie? The one with
Eyes Wide Shut is definitely a movie.
It's Eyes Wide Shut. I was like, is it Eyes Wide Open? Hey, it's been a long day, long podcast. But that's with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and obviously he's The Shining, 2001: A Space Odyssey. So
yeah, I've seen that.
He does War. Paths of Glory is one of his earlier films with Kirk Douglas. It's great. So like he's done the war movie, he's done the space movie, the horror movie, and this is his historical fiction comedy thing, and it's really good, really, really good. So that's something I saw that I highly recommend. It's one of, I'm pretty sure it's in our film Bible. Like that's definitely one of the classics of all time, and I highly recommend.
Well, speaking of the film Bible, now that just go into the topic real quick, if you're listening to this, make sure you drop a number for our Bible study segment. We pick random numbers, and we're going to pick one in 2 weeks to watch one of the 1,000 must-see movies rated by the New York Times. So just drop a random number on any of our platforms that we have and just say it's for Film Bible, or don't. Just drop a number. We'll know what you mean.
Yeah, drop it on literally any clip. Like, we will know.
Yeah, drop it on anything we have. Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, it doesn't matter.
Just text. Somehow you get our number, text us in the middle of the night, be like, psst.
Yeah. Find our letterbox, comment on every single review we have.
But we'll be reviewing the Get Out next week. That's the next one that Jack and I have in the Film Bible. So we will be watching, in my case, rewatching, and reviewing Jordan Peele's Get Out.
For my Seesaw, I'm going to start with Saw. Something I'm currently watching, another show that I'm watching, I didn't want to get into it, I didn't want to spoil my Seesaw, is Tires on Netflix.
Oh, I saw that show.
Season 1 was ass. I did not like season 1 at all. I thought it was there was like a couple funny lines, but it wasn't great. Season 2 is fucking hilarious. Like they somehow got the formula right. I have like 2 episodes left of the season. It's Shane Gillis, Steve Gerben. These 2 guys work at a tire shop, an auto body shop, and it's really, really funny. And they nailed it this season. I think every episode, maybe except 1 or 2, has above a 9.2 on IMDb, which is super rare for a show to have consistent 9s on IMDb for a whole season. I literally think it's like the first one is like an 8.7, and then episodes 2 through 12 have like 9.5s each, which is pretty cool. And I'm watching it, I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. So they really nailed it in the second season. So if you watched Tires in the first season and wasn't the biggest fan, you'll love season 2, I'm sure, if you're a fan of Shane Gillis. And if you were a fan of season 1, I'm sure you love season 2 even more. So that's something I've been watching.
That was actually me with that show. Like I watched season 1, And it's funny, we had Brandon on last week. I know he loves that show. He was like, really, he thinks it's funny. I thought it was like amusing. That's the word I would have used for season 1.
You didn't watch season 2, right?
I didn't even realize it was out. I knew it was coming. I didn't even realize it was out. So
I'm with you on season 1.
Like,
it was just there.
It was amusing. Like, I had it on.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but it was, it was whatever.
Yeah, like I watched it was like 10 episodes, 20 minutes. It's like whatever, I could get through this in a day, so I'll just watch it.
Yeah.
And it was not, I did not care about season 2, and I was like, fine, I'll watch it. And the first episode was like, and that's the worst episode of the season, and it's fucking awesome. Like, I think it's hilarious, the show, now at least. And for my C, something I want to see, I'm surprised I've never used it for a C yet. I don't think I did. But my most anticipated summer blockbuster, I just got to use it because I'm so excited for this movie. Superman. I cannot stress enough how excited I am to see Superman treated right. We've talked about this on multiple episodes. It somehow always comes up. I'm not going to get into it too much. It's Superman. And James Gunn directing. He's helming DC, the new DCU. And if they get it right, this could be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. At least one of the most comic book movies of all time. From what it looks like, it's super
like
vibrant
right off
and
the
colorful.
pages.
Right off the pages, man. They're so dedicated to this, and the actors are perfect representations of these characters. And of course, I do have my worries, I do have my doubts, but nonetheless, I'm more excited for this than I am Fantastic Four. I'm more excited for this than I am Jurassic World. And I'm very excited for those movies, but Superman is Superman, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And even if it's bad, then you know what, maybe it'll kill my hype for DC and I'll stop having high hopes, but I do have high hopes right now. And we'll see how things go.
Yeah, I definitely feel like as we get closer to its release and all the TV spots come out, and yes, you have Fantastic Four and Jurassic World and a summer filled with blockbusters coming out, but like if all goes well for them, Superman will reign supreme because it's Superman. And I think that hype, like I said, with the TV spots and the different advertising, as we get, now we're a month away, it's the hype is building. It's very real, and we could be in for a Superman summer, and it's been a long time.
Superman summer, man. I love
summer.
That.
So
they just released all the character posters, the headshot posters.
I saw.
And everyone looks beautiful, man.
Yeah, I'm
really
pumped. I'm so pumped. So that's going to be so exciting, and we're going to have it all for you right here on this show, the Box Office Dynasty podcast. But that's all we have for you on this episode in particular. Thank you for tuning in, as always. If you like what you heard and what you see and what we do, please give us a like, a comment, a follow, share with your friends and fellow film lovers. We're on every platform. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. We're on Apple, Amazon. We're probably on your grandmother's record player somewhere in her basement.
Probably.
So we are everywhere. We appreciate everyone's support as always. Do you have any parting words of wisdom?
Yeah, I mean, you could follow us on everything that Josh just mentioned at Box Office Dynasty. And
I forgot.
We do have some news to drop.
Yeah, so
as we close out this episode.
Jack teased it, tickled it a little bit before, if you will.
I tickled its fancy a little bit.
We just talked about how, we make your Tuesdays better because we're there for you on Tuesdays. Well, after this Tuesday, we're not going to be there for you anymore, so suck it up and get back to work.
Your Tuesdays are going to fucking suck. Sorry, guys.
Our schedule is shifting just slightly. Instead of Tuesdays, moving forward, we will be releasing on Wednesdays. So just one more day into your week. Don't worry. We know how much this rocks you to your inner cores, but we promise, just hold on one more day and you'll get all the Box Office Dynasty content that you could ever dream of.
Yeah, episodes will be released 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 a.m. Wednesday mornings, starting after this episode. So if you're listening to this episode came out on Tuesday. Every episode after this, after episode 10, is gonna come out on Wednesday. 10 episodes, man. Good for us, bro.
Yeah.
And we love everyone who's listened, who's tuned in. Like, we can't thank you guys enough. And you're just making us have a good time. Like, we love doing this for you guys, and we love that you love it as well, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, and we are going to we're going to keep it going. All right? Don't you worry.
Damn right. We're not stopping at 10.
And we're sorry we didn't have enough time for you, Matt Damon. We'll get to you next week.
Yeah. See you guys. See you, Matt Damon.
Bye, Matt.